Hi
Hi, hi,
everyone.
hi.
Is my
Is
voice
my
echoing?
voice recording?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Just a second. Is it still echoing right now?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I think is there anyone to join who is there? Who was there? Yeah, I feel few of them. Okay, Rishabh, are you there? Or Jhalak? Who is there?
It's Jhalak here.
Okay, so would I start the class because I feel three or four people are still left.
Yes, yes, you can start the class.
Okay, okay, thank you so much. Okay, so I hope you all are not having any doubt about what exactly are the childhood traumas or what exactly is inner child healing.
No doubt, sir.
Okay, thank you, Bhumi. Uh, Anjali Yadav, you are new today for the first class.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. So, can I have everyone on cameras because I feel like I'm talking to a black screen, which is a very bad thing for me. Okay, yes, Anjali, tell me something about yourself.
My name is Anjali Yadav, and I'm doing my master's in counseling psychology.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm from Noida University, like from Noida Amity University.
Amity. Okay. Most of you all are
Yes.
from Amity, I think. Okay. So, did you get a chance to look up at the recordings yesterday?
Yes, ma'am. I've seen the recording of the previous class.
Okay. So, do you have any doubt?
No, ma'am. It's all clear.
Okay. 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 But don't worry. Today I'm going to take 1 hour, 10 minutes class because after my class, I think you have with Pavitra, I think.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
We have child psychology class.
Kyle, sir. Yeah, with Pavitra or with Tanaya.
Tanya.
Tanya. Okay. 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 So today I'm going to talk about the types of dysfunctional families. So yesterday we ended up in what exactly is dysfunctional family or what are the types of functional family. So the very first types of dysfunctional family is emotionally unavailable. Now what you think that emotionally unavailable do make a lot of dysfunction in the child or not?
Ma'am, it could create like apathy and yes, mainly apathy and paranoia.
Okay. Anything else?
Ma'am, a child might not feel that they're in a safe environment where
Hmm.
they are like seen or emotionally validated, so they'll not be much more able to explore the environment around them. They'll be in like maybe survival mode, so they'll not be like so much open to explore the environment and grow as a like healthy human.
Yes, yes, pretty true. So, what exactly I have a case to share again. So, this was a family setup of three family members: the son, mom, and dad. Both the mom and dad were doctors, gynecologists, and uh, both were in the house. But what exactly used to happen is the child or the son, he was 10 years old. Whatever he needs to communicate with the parents was not there. They were physically present, table pe the sab, but emotionally they were in their own world. Now this son, he in the joint class or in some other classes, I forgot what the class he said me. He said that he was being tortured mentally. Now he wanted to say the same thing to his parents, but unfortunately, the parents was not available. Now, this created a sense of detachment from the whole family structure. Hi, Rashi. I just started right now about dysfunctional family. So now what had happened, I had to give play therapy, definitely CBT play therapy along with empty chair technique. I hope most of you all are aware of what exactly is empty chair technique. Okay, don't worry, we would have a no.
Sorry, can
Okay.
you repeat?
Yes, Tanvi, you wanted to say something?
Ma'am, whatever you just said, some kind of a therapy.
Yes, CBT, play therapy, and empty chair technique. or role play. In CBT, we generally call it as role play. But what I generally do is in play therapy, I give it a different name, which is empty chair technique. I'm going to talk about empty chair technique, what exactly happens. So now, believe me, doesn't happen. My colleague said me it's just a sort of miracle. Only after 4 sessions of all the 4 were empty chair technique, the son said me right now I'm feeling less burden. Because what exactly happens in empty chair technique? So one chair in first of the chair, the client would be sitting, and in the second chair, the client would assume the parents or someone else is there, and whatever the client wants to say, the client would be venting out. Even in my setup, I allow the clients to use slangs because there are so many pent up emotions, all sort of repressed emotion. Which generally, what I generally do is whenever I am angry with any of my friends or family members, I take a white sheet, I write the name of that banda, bandi, whoever, and I start giving galis. I start scribbling. People say it's as a very immature sort of activity, but for inner child, this is one of the most prominent activity to strike it off. But yes, definitely with green color paint, because green is a sort of healing. Anyone who are aware of color psychology can relate. Green is a sort of healing things. Write the name with red color, that is anger, and strike it off. Write galis with green color ink and nothing else. Now, in emotionally unavailable family, these are the sort of child who come out as lost child. I'm going to talk about all the types of child. There are only 4 types of child which come out from all this sort of family. Now, again, you need to keep in your mind that it can be in that emotionally unavailable parenting setup. 2 siblings are there. One is totally affected and the other one is not at all affected. But the one who is affected, please don't think that that individual is a sort of weak or something of that sort. No. It just happens that why I'm not getting my parents. I need to have my parents. Now, in this emotionally unavailable sort of family structure, you can see client talking about abusive relationship, verbal abuse, physical abuse, emotionally abuse. And in fact, I am not pretty sure. As I'm a volunteer and I am the treasurer of ORDI, that is Organizational for Rare Diseases in India. These are the sort of diseases which occur out of 10 lakh people. Only one individual can have all these sort of diseases. I have particularly seen more than 5 cases where emotionally unavailable parents have a child who have bleeding disorder. Now, what exactly is bleeding disorder? Bleeding disorder means from the private parts, bloods are coming out. This happens due to some hormonal issues. It can happen due to certain sort of neurotransmitters which are there in our brain or any sort of chemical imbalances. Now, if I would definitely ask my ORDI CEOs to share me that paper that was not being published, definitely, but that paper have proven that yes, emotionally unavailable family members or family parents have a son or have a daughter which have or who have bleeding disorder. And in fact, it's not only from urine or from potty, the bloods are coming out. It can be from nose, from mouth, from eyes, it's coming out. Now, I don't exactly know is it pretty true or not, but I was reading and as I'm a member, I have seen. Yes, Tanvi.
Ma'am, what is the prevalence rate of bleeding disorders in India?
In India, the prevalence is 25%. Now, this sort of things are not curable. None of the rare diseases are curable, neither treatable. So bleeding disorders, generally the one who are hematologists, they do take up the clients, but only they are about to take medicines, lifelong medicines are being given to them. No cure, no management, nothing. The moment they are stopping the medicine, bleeding occurs. So this is what emotionally unavailable family is. Clear or any doubt? Okay. Next, is it the next? What about? Okay. Next is addicts and enablers. Now, any idea what are addicts or who are the enablers?
Addict ma'am, when someone can't perform or do regular activity without that particular substance, without
Hmm.
consuming it, and the consumption which they used to take and perform some activities after the consumption is continuously increasing. I mean, the dose is increasing, but the effect of that dose is quite same. So that is addiction.
Okay. And who are the enablers? Okay. Yes, pretty true, Rashi. Now, addicts and enablers are that sort of individual. Let me clarify this. Both the terms are not very new. If you all are working with rehab center, you can see addicts are mainly one individual or that sort of individual who are addicted to into any sort of addiction. Sexual addiction, porn addiction, any sort of liquor, ganja, cannabis, heroin, anything, any sort of addiction. But who are the enablers? Enablers are the one हम लोग सुनते हैं ना कि no, I don't say my husband anything because he is into a lot of pressure. I give him the space to drink and nothing I do say. So these are the sort of individual who are the enablers. कुछ भी नहीं बोलेंगे.
Ma'am, I believe if you're not stopping a person from doing a particular thing, you
Hmm.
are indirectly encouraging them to continue doing it.
Yes.
Because
But generally, what happened, Rashi, when you are see, it's pretty true. When we do CBT with this sort of addicted clients, we say, but enablers, the mindset of this sort of people are like, no, no, kuch nahi bolenge because my husband is totally drained out. My husband is pissed off. Let him drink at least only one peak or two peak. Chhod do, kuch nahi bolenge. These are their mentalities. And honestly, to change this sort of mentality, along with CBT, somewhere down the line, you need to understand their psychodynamics. What is making them say like this? Why so? Because, for example, today, if I see my husband is drinking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every single day,
Hmm.
I would definitely hold on his hand and say, why? Or I would question him. But if I am on the category of enablers, I would say no, no, छोड़ो ना राशि, इसको drink करने दो, एक ही बात तो पियेंगे और एक ही तो पियेंगे. Yes, Tanvi, tell me.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, like, if a crime is happening in front of you, I'm just giving an example, and probably somebody is stabbing somebody else. I guess there was a case where a woman was stabbed like 10 to 12 times, but nobody did anything. Ma'am, I know that the abusers of drugs and everything else, alcohol, ma'am, they might not be as risky, but if you know that the situation of the person is very bad, not when the person is initiated and you haven't come to know about it, but when you know that the situation is so bad that you could be beaten up. So, how would you deal with such a case?
Okay, I would come up to your case. Yes, Rashi.
Ma'am, I would like to answer, matlab, say something on
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yeah. So, in that particular situation you're talking about, the responsibility was, the responsibility was distributed among so many people that they thought कि मुझे क्या जरूरत है, कोई और कर लेगा, and you will study about it in masters. It's a topic.
Okay,
I
okay.
just
मैं
forgot the
understood.
name.
हाँ. ये हाँ
Yeah,
social psychology का एक phenomena होता है. I can't remember the label of it, but
correct. Yeah. So when responsibility is distributed in so many people, the work will, it will not get done.
Yes.
हाँ.
See, what happens is in case of enablers, it's totally different. If you read about them in Reddit, you can see this sort of people are people pleaser. ना नहीं बोल सकते. For them, assertive training is mandatory. They don't know, they feel that they are straightforward. But there is a difference between straightforward and assertiveness. In fact, I am also straightforward. but somewhere down the line, I know what exactly is assertiveness. But these are those individuals who don't know. Now, why individual turns addict? Any idea? Any sort of addiction?
But
Drink?
ma'am, I have a doubt in this point of enablers. Isn't that if they are people pleasers, most of them are people pleasers, so is it not possible for them to be a part of it? Like to be part of the drug racket or probably themselves be addicts? Because no.
No, because enablers are a sort of hero child, the golden child. I'm going to talk about the sort of child. You can understand why people turn enablers. They can't say no. Nahi, mat karo. Stop. For them, it's pretty difficult. Now, why so? See, there are some sort of psychodynamics which happen within their mindset. Why I am not being able to say no? For example, I'm giving an example. You all are having a class from 5 to 6, 6 to
Fear
7.
of rejection.
Yes, fear of rejection, definitely, because hero child have an like have a fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of losing someone. That is the thing. See, when you are going to understand the types of families or dysfunctional family, all the four sorts of like all the four sort of childs, like dysfunctional childs, also you can understand. Insecure attachment style, somewhere down the line it can be insecure attachment style. I'm not telling that no, it can't be. It can be, but again, see, insecure attachment style, more than that, if you think about authoritarian, strict parenting, mummy, I have seen my mother, for example, that not telling my dad, please don't drink, or after drinking, please don't beat me up. My mental setup is in that sort that after my marriage, I can't tell my husband that please don't beat me, because I have seen my father beating my mother just after the moment he has been taking a glass or a peak of wine or anything. Wine में कुछ नहीं होगा, but beer, alcohol, all these sort of things. Now, what exactly it happens in addicts and enablers? Why people turn addicted? Any idea? Any sort of addiction? I'm not only telling because I am highly caffeine addicted. So why people turn addicted?
Ma'am, maybe it's a coping mechanism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, influence of any family member or their friends. Also, when they don't, influence of social media, if they're following a particular star who is, getting appreciated for drinking and doing heroic events.
Or a mental state where they can't do anything? Yes, somewhere it's true, but I'm talking about the brain chemical. Any idea which chemical is responsible for an individual to turn addict? Which chemical?
Dopamine
Yes,
Serotonin.
dopamine.
and happy chemical H5, I guess.
H5, yes, somewhere down the line, but mostly dopamine.
Yeah.
Now, what happened? Now, let me give my own example. This is a cup which has been gifted by my sister today itself, a coffee mug.
It's cute.
Now,
It looks like ball.
yes, it's a ball and it's a huge cup. Like she knows that I am highly addicted. Like yesterday, I have taken 21 cups of coffee, black coffee. So yes, I am that much addicted. Now,
No, it's
what
not
exactly?
healthy.
Yes, it's not at all healthy. Now, what exactly happens? I say why people turn addict. एक दिन में today I am drinking this. For example, not leaving coffee, I'm taking a glass of whiskey or any sort of beer. I am drinking only this cup, right? My dopamine is right now over here. I am getting the addiction, not addiction. I am getting all the mazas. I am getting the things like the butterflies in.
Euphoric stage.
Yes,
Euphoric stage.
euphoric stage. Yes,
Yeah.
right now I'm too happy. And this is my first time I'm drinking whiskey or beer. Today is Monday. Tuesday, definitely I'm taking this, but I'm not getting that. Or even if I'm getting that, not to that extent. The position is still static. It's still over here. Wednesday, what I'm doing? I am taking this along with other one. I'm increasing. My cup has been increased. Thursday also same. Friday same. Again on Saturday, I need something more. That craving for something more. My dopamine was here on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday it was here. Thursday it's here. Friday over here only. Again on Saturday I want to increase. So that craving, मेरे को अभी मजा चाहिए. Now for king affirmative, there are, ma'am, someone may be forced to drug. That is something different. That I am being forced. If you talk about sex worker, you can see, yeah, I do, when I work with sex worker, they are being forced to take up drugs. That is completely different. That
They
is
are even forced to,
Hmm.
yeah, they're even forced to, drink alcohol
Yes,
before they get involved in any kind of activity.
yes, yes.
So
Especially
that,
the names are there now. We don't call them as sex worker. The high society, the escort,
yeah,
their charges are more.
yeah.
Like for example, for a sex worker for 1 hour, if the charges is 1,000, for escort the charges is 3,000, because they are giving something extra, more than blow job, more than something. They are giving something extra. So what exactly happens in addiction? Oh, my dopamine. I want to increase my dopamine. Now, एक time आता है, I want to decrease my dopamine level, but my dopamine is not allowing me. Any sort of addiction. I'm talking about any sort of addiction. It can be social media addiction. It can be prawn addiction. Anything. Now, leaving my coffee. But definitely for me also, it's the same. I'm not telling that I am a completely different individual. For me also, it's something same. But for enablers, they are basically the hero child of the family. They take all the responsibilities. They are right. That sort of individual who like to please others. Now, any idea that for what reason are someone, for example, if an individual is having a narcissistic parenting, I have a narcissistic parents. So, what sort of mindset the child would develop? Any idea? Firstly,
If I
what
don't
is,
do anything, should I complete my sentence?
tell.
Acha, if I don't do anything for them, they
Hmm.
will not validate my feeling, because when you're living with a narcissist, you
Hmm.
always have to serve them, and it will never be enough for them.
Yes. They are basically a sort of people pleaser. Now, there was a question I remember when I was doing my diploma in counseling. I was not being taught that why people turn people pleaser. This is basically the reason narcissistic parenting plays an important role. Narcissistic, see what exactly happens. सब कुछ book में लिखा नहीं होता है. Honestly, you have to identify. You have to understand the fact. Now, in this addicts and enablers, in that family environment, you can even see child who are scapegoat. Scapegoat are those sort of individuals who are the problem child. They are often called as black sheep. Now, I would like to tell my example. My mom, dad, they are completely, I won't say orthodox, but not even orthodox, not even highly modern. Every single day, I had a habit in my school, in my college, in my university level, I had a habit of beating my friends. During even my college days, I was being termed by my school teachers, HOD, even all the teachers, professors, that I am a troublemaker of my class. जिस क्लास में भी मैं बैठती थी जाके, they are like, Shradhanjali, please don't disturb the class. And yes, I did not disturb all the class. I used to disturb some particular classes, stats class, boarding class, organizational psychology का जब भी class होता था, I was like, I would disturb. जो करना है कर लो. And I was the CR of my college. So power तो मेरे हाथ पे ही है. कुछ नहीं होगा. कोई भी complain कर लो, कुछ काम के नहीं आएगा. This scapegoat. Yes. Still now, whenever, even if I'm last week, I took an class on a PG diploma class for holistic and somatic healing, where I am a student. It's not that I am training. I was disturbing my teacher because that teacher, though it is an online class, she was yawning in the class. From for the last 2 hours, she was just yawning, and I was getting so irritated. The class started from 10 in the night, and I had to stay in the class till 12, and she was just yawning. And what I was doing nothing. I was trying to share my PPT from a fake ID. I not a fake ID. I took my sister's ID and and she was like, "Con, who is doing?" And I was like, "I won't say. Jo bhi karna hai kar lo." So scapegoat. These are the mentality of the child that power mere haath pe hai. They and yes, they have power. They have power. Though I would be explaining again what exactly is scapegoat, what are the underlying meaning. They are over stereotype, not literally and discriminated against. See, I won't say discriminated against, but they are the problem child. They have so many. They have repressed emotions. They can't.
Ma'am, they need attention, and maybe that's why they do this kind of things, because they feel like they are, their feeling are getting neglected, so they need some attention from other
They
people.
need validation.
Yeah, validation. Sorry,
Now,
wrong word.
definitely, I'm going to talk about overprotective. They're actually troublemaker. Yes, I understand. They are troublemaker. So when I'm going to,
I thought scapegoating is escaping by blaming. Like scapegoat is a person. Like I don't know. I've
Hmm.
always understood a scapegoat. For example, if I say that A, B, C are three people, three children of probably X and Y. So,
Hmm.
ma'am, C is the scapegoat. Scape is the
Going
escaping
on.
is done by the child. Like the child is making troubles and then escaping it. So, ma'am, then somebody has to be blamed for it. Then who is the one who takes the blame? Like, what do you call it?
No, Tanvi, you are particularly right. But in case of inner child healing, scapegoat are the ones who are the problem maker, but they can't run away. They are going to take the responsibility also. That yes, I'm doing this problem, but I don't take. Leaving my things, I don't take
So,
definitely.
ma'am,
But
what is the word scape coming from? Like, scape,
scape
koi na koi.
scape is coming from ship, black sheep. They are being termed as black sheep. They are being termed as black sheep. Just a second, I'll show the screen. Yes.
So, ma'am, they keep doing stuff even when they have to bear the consequences of it.
Yes. See, when
So,
tell me.
ma'am, does this mean they're habituated to this dysfunctional lifestyle? Like, is this what they're used to? Is this what's
Yes,
normal for them?
yes, it's normal. In case of this only, high conflict and abusive family members. See,
Okay,
I
so
tell you why. What happens? You need to understand, because if you are not understanding this, inner child won't be of any effectiveness. Now, what happens in case of high conflict and abusive family? Abuse doesn't only means that I am seeing my mom is torturing my brother, or I am seeing my father is torturing my mom. It can be otherwise also. I am seeing in my extended family, my cousins are fighting, or my in-laws are fighting. Now, in high conflict, if you can see this picture, both the parents are fighting, and the son is closing the ears. This why I gave this picture, because I had exactly the same case of this. The son, this is the son, but that was a daughter. She was 6 years old. And every time, whenever she was in the therapeutic session, she said to me that one of the most Shantika place is over here. For the next 1 hour, I would be most happiest individual. But the moment I'm going inside my room, or inside, not even my room, inside my house, I have a issue with my mom and dad. I say, why? The reason is the both the mom and dad used to fight. They used to throw shoes at each other. Yes. Like mom used to throw bottles, and papa used to throw shoes. Mom used to throw something, dad used to throw something. So, in case of high conflict and abusive family, now abusive doesn't mean only physical or mental, it can be any sort of abuse. I was being, for example, I was being abused in my school days. As I was talking in the previous class about how my teacher used to abuse me. It is a sort of physical abuse or sexual abuse, touching my boobs. In that way, I could not communicate. So when they could not communicate what they are doing, what generally, if you are not being able to tell up your emotions, what you are doing, you are piling up your negative emotion. That's the reason for scapegoat to come up. They need something to vent out. They need something. That is the reason to vent out. मेरे को शांति मिलना तो चाहिए. We all demand happiness, even for 5 seconds. Even for 5 seconds. इन लोग का मतलब है शांति चाहिए. I don't want any sort of conflict or any sort of controversies in surrounding by me. Scapegoat are a perfect example from coming up from high conflict family structure. Yes, Tanvi, you want to say something?
Ma'am, I got more confused after you said that they want peace, because when they are a potential already in the potential criminal situation, and they have potentially, probably the parents may have criminal backgrounds, if they are like this intense and being violent and fighting with each other, abusing each other, or probably doing anything, even in relatives we have seen that they stop going, and they probably, it's a very non-verbal kind of a thing, but even silence could be an abusive situation in some extreme major extremes. So, ma'am, first they make the trouble and then they want peace because they are of
No,
potentially.
no. Why they are making the trouble? That is the psychodynamic. Why, for example, if I want to make a trouble, मेरे को खुशी मिल रहा है कि you people are getting disturbed.
Okay, so the sense of gratification, अच्छा उससे आ रहा है, and the peace that they want, वो.
Okay, I'm going to give you an example. I don't belong from this conflict family. It's just that the teacher was yawning and hence I wanted to disturb her. Not in terms of literally disturb her, but to stop her from yawning, right? So what I was doing, I was sharing my PPT or I was scribbling on her PPT. But my original name was not visible. So what I was getting? I was getting immense pleasure that she had stopped the class even for 5 minutes or 5 seconds. Other people were also getting disturbed, and that was a sense of peace for me at that moment of time. When I'm a scapegoat, I am not making trouble just for the sake of anything. I want peace by seeking that or by seeing people are getting disturbed. Or
Oh,
I can make something.
okay, okay. So basically, we are at peace when we have the consequences of the trouble that we have made gives us peace. Basically,
Yes.
that's okay, okay, okay. Understood.
मेरे को कुछ बड़ा दिखना चाहिए. I need to feel that yes, I am doing something. I have that sort of power. Now for me, what I did in the last week, I had only the power of my sister's ID. No power at all. If I was to be taken in the class by my name, I knew that she would take my name. If I was doing it from my original account. But I took the ID of my sister. That is a sort of power. Disturbing is a sort of scapegoat.
Okay, okay. Understood it, ma'am. Because they also want something to control, so they try to overpower something and then they disturb it and then they feel कि अब तो ये हो चुका disturb. Now it'll take time.
Yes, exactly. This is happening with them also. Both the mom and dad are fighting, or both the parents are fighting, or even the LGBT couples, especially the single gays, they are fighting. Now, what exactly taken for granted? Child के ऊपर सब जान दो. What they are mindsetting, what the mindset has been called, that this is and this is. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to disturb everyone. I am getting peace. This is what. Yes, Rashi.
Ma'am, is there something like that when parents are having any kind of trouble, so
Hmm.
instead of working on that, they're lashing out their anger on each other. So that is something they are teaching the child to do. That if the child is having any kind of problem, he can lash out his or she can lash out his emotion on anyone, and you know that child don't even have to be accountable for his action.
No, yes. They are not being taught that today if I'm having any issue,
Hmm.
बात कर लो, chat
Okay.
कर लो, but they are not being taught. Why they are not being taught? They are seeing their parents only.
Hmm.
Today, if I'm seeing my mom and dad fighting, physical fighting, verbal abuse, everything is going on, no settlement are coming down. So either I would be becoming a scapegoat or I would become a lost child. Oh, I'm not going to talk about the terminologies now. You all can get confused. But after completing the types of family, dysfunctional family, you can relate.
Ma'am, I recently dealing with a case, and there's a child. He's 17-year-old, and his mother is from Pakistan, but his dad is from India.
Hmm.
Okay, so you know, पेरेंट्स का रिलेशन बहुत अच्छा नहीं है, बट इतना खराब भी नहीं है कि वो आर्ग्यू करते हैं या फिर अब्यूसिव है, नहीं है। बातचीत नहीं करते हैं, आइसोलेशन कर लेते हैं, वो है। बट जो चाइल्ड है वो अब्यूसिव है अपनी ग्रैंडमदर को। ही वाज अब्यूजिंग सेक्सुअली, एंड ही वाज अब्यूजिंग हिज मदर फिजिकली। एंड उनकी मम्मा ने मेरे को ब्रूज दिखाए अपने हैंड पे, एंड उनकी नेक पे पूरे ऐसे प्रॉपर नील्स उसने डग करे हुए थे। सो कैन यू प्लीज
Yeah,
say something?
definitely. See, in this type of cases, क्या होता है ना, you need to talk about their parenting.
Hmm.
Not about the dysfunctional. Might be they don't have any sort of dysfunctional dispute in front of the child.
Yeah.
But what if in this I can remind this has case has reminded me of one case. No inner child healing, just a lay case. Uh,
Hmm.
Parents were having an intimate time. Definitely,
Okay.
the daughter saw that,
Okay.
which has affected on her mind, and the age was 20, 12 or 13. I forgot, but not of 17. Definitely. Now, whatever, whenever anyone used to touch her like this, any relatives touch kar sakte hai na, she used to shout on them, any sort of aggression, because in her mindset, she was being in her own world that touch karna kisi ko buri baat hai. Boundaries was not taught, like good touch and bad touch was not being taught. She made it up in her own mind that mama was shouting, but literally she was not shouting. She has shown me the video. It was a normal intimate scene which were going on between the couples, but the daughter interpreted that thing in something else. So that time particularly you can't do anything at that moment. If you can walk with the parenting, do that. If you have the case record like the MSc and which we take the
I
general,
I do.
yeah, that one if you can take, or if you want I can send it. What generally I do it, because it's a huge one, it takes almost 2 hours to fill it, but not in one session, it needs two sessions for the CRF and MSc. And talk about, if the daughter is not ready or if the son is not ready, check with the art, go with art therapy, HTP, any trauma is there or not. Might be the mom and dad or anyone don't know, but there can be the underlying trauma. Try to find out by the trunk of the tree. If you are knowing how to interpret HTP, house tree person, find out by the trunk of the tree, the intents of the trauma.
Ma'am,
Please.
there is one thing.
Hmm.
The child is an alcoholic
Hmm.
at a very young age, and being a Muslim, it's it's not allowed in their
Yes,
culture.
yes, yes.
Yeah, so parents, they just keep on saying that you're a, शर्मनाक हो आप, इस तरीके
Hmm.
से they they say this, and the child, he's friends with people 35 to 45 wala age range mein, and also his friends are carrying gun around them. It's very
Hmm.
common for them, so basically he's friends with criminals.
This can cause. See, today, if my mom and dad are pretty good, and I have a friend circle who are criminal, who are rapists, so definitely I'm not going to listen to my mom and dad.
Okay.
Definitely not. See, in this sort of cases, child psychologists play an important role. Especially if you think about, ask about the sort of dreams the child is getting. Definitely the child would be getting a sort of dream. सपने में क्या
मैंने पूछा था, तो ही सेड कि नहीं, कोई ड्रीम नहीं आते, एंड ही सेड ख्वाब हमें आते ही नहीं है.
नहीं, ख्वाब आते हैं, सपने सबको आते हैं. Just the thing is that he need to understand what go with color. Ask
Okay.
him to draw something. If you know any sort of art based activity, ask him. Especially leave art therapy also. Go with play therapy. See what the child is picking up. What are the play things or play items the child is picking up. Because in all these sensitive cases, CBT, REBT, DBT, SFBT कोई कुछ काम नहीं करेगा unless the child is opening up. But the child don't know. I have cases where the child say, I don't have any dreams, Shraddhanjali di. But after 3 or 4 sessions, the child said, yeah, एक बार आए थे ये. And that was only by the measure of art or measure of play. Fighting, aggression, खून खराबी. These are the sort of things. Play therapy plays an important role in any therapy, even if the individual is of 75. I have applied play therapy for 85, 82 plus individuals. So play an important role. If you have the manual of play therapy, you can go ahead. And if you don't even have the manual, you can download it. If you want, I can give it also. I won't mind. But go with play therapy and art therapy. These are one of the most powerful tools where you can
Ma'am,
understand.
I was dealing with a child and I asked him to draw something, and this is what he drew.
What is that? Guns? Something
Yes,
black planes. Planes or gun?
guns.
Guns. Okay.
He
Uh,
was continuously drawing it, and I asked him to draw your friend or something. तो उसने फिर उस time पे he drew me and him.
hmm. So did you ask who are those or why is this sort of guns?
I did, but उस time पे he said nothing.
Hmm. No, see, एक session में नहीं होगा. They won't say. Do play therapy, do anti-chair technique, again come back to the drawing on for 5th session. After 3rd or 2nd session, again on 5th session. 2-3 दिन का session का gap दे दो. Then the child would talk. If the child is not talking, ask him to write 10 good things about him, 10 bad things about him. But make sure that the child is not increasing the bad things.
Okay.
Introspection hoga, then
Mhm.
the child would talk, because guns are a sort of criminal activities. Might be the
Yes.
child have seen somewhere in the films, in any sort of.
Ma'am, that kid was too young to draw such things. He was 4 or 5.
Mm. That means he has been saved by someone. Films, because everything is right now pretty accessible, all the Netflix channels and everything. Guns dekhe hai, number one. Now knife, that guns can implement any other thing also. Ask him, इसका कोई कलर है, ये क्या है, कलर है, शेप है, अगर कलर है कौन सा कलर है, अगर शेप है तो कौन सा शेप है, किसको देना पसंद करोगे, why did you take this?
Okay.
See, there are the questions. I think I have a manual for all these questions. Let me find out. If I get the manual, I'm going to send it to you. There
Okay.
are more than 1,000 questions. But
Okay.
yes, you can't ask all the 1,000 questions. You have to figure it out. मेरे को
Hmm.
याद है, so I can say all the questions. But वो book इतना like it's too fat, like Kaplan. That is a hard copy. I have the soft copy also. I need to check it out. They have all the questions which you need to ask anyone, not even to the child. You can ask a teen, you can ask adult from any population. So if I find out that book, I'm definitely going to circulate it to you. You can see the questions, ask him. Again, go for a re-therapy. Matlab art therapy, which is again a re-one. Like draw something. Play a music. Ask him that what sort of music do you like? What sort of color do you like? What sort of texture do you like?
He said he likes black color.
Black color are highly sophisticated colors. Number one, black colors are a sort of criminal mentality too. Did you find out the parenting style or the family history?
Yeah. His father is very controlling, and his mother, she enabler, we can say.
That
Yeah.
is the thing. Parenting plays an important role, and hence is of a black color. Black में अगर आप कुछ भी दे दो, you can't find out. People who likes wearing black color every single day. Black plan, black, everything black, black, black.
Yeah.
They are sophisticated, definitely, but they have criminal mentality too. They won't give a second thought to commit a crime. They
Okay.
won't give.
Ma'am, what if, because I am in
Hmm.
contact with some people who love the black color and they usually buy every single thing in black color only, but they are very soft spoken, they are very sweet.
See, I have encountered, not encountered, matlab goli nahi chala hai, but I have seen more than
Communicated.
communicated with prisons individual with
Okay.
one of a criminal psychologist in Kolkata. देख के नहीं पता चलता है. Shraddha Walker case. How many of you all remember the Shraddha Walker case? Where the girlfriend was being chopped.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
I do. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
That if you read the history of Aftab, yes, Aftab Hussain,
Yeah.
he used to like black. How many of you all remember the case of Indrani Mukherjee, the high profile case where she has murdered her own daughter? No one. I can give you the YouTube link. If
Okay.
you read about her own biography, I have her book because she has published her own written biography where she has clearly mentioned she used to like black and red color. Black and red. Red is a sort of aggression. Red is very sophisticated. Black is too sophisticated. These are the sort of criminal mentality. देख के किसी को पता नहीं चलता. But it in a very triggering situation, they won't think up to take a knife and stab anyone. In my upcoming classes, when I'm going to talk about the types of wound, please remind me in types of wound ka class, I'm going to talk about criminal cases because that plays an important role. Because inner child healing and criminals types of what wound, WOUND. There are 4 major types of wound. I'm going to talk about the wound. Number 1 is guilt. Number 2 is trust. Number 3 is neglect. Number 4 is abandonment. Yes. So these are the 4 type of wound. In trust and guilt, people turns into criminal profile.
Ma'am, if someone is not able to feel guilt
Hmm.
and like the color black,
Hmm. They would feel guilt. If you know TAT, do TAT or do Rorschach on them, any sort
Excuse
of.
me, ma'am. Just a second. I also like the color red, the black, and I don't feel guilt. How
No,
could it
my
be?
brother is also a black lover. My mother is a red lover. Number 2, these are the thing why I'm saying, but they are highly aggressive. My brother too is highly aggressive. Even he is wearing black in front of me and he is smiling. Kiki kiki.
But ma'am, that
Other
way
men,
to like you
bhai,
have to.
Ritika, एक minute. Ritika, I know. He likes black, but he is of that. Ritika, एक minute, let me show you. See, he is wearing a black color dress. Whenever his almirah is full of black, my mother likes red, but both of them are highly aggressive. I don't like black, I don't like red, I like pink, but I am more aggressive than them. See, that plays an important role. Not only, see, I won't say parenting only, but how you are shaping your own mind.
okay.
You need to shape your own mind. I talk with sex worker. I donate to them. I have lunch with them. I have people from queer background, like people, matlab, my friends from queer community. I eat with them. I go on party with them. Again, I did not turn anything. I have criminal friends also, high profile, fancy cases, but I don't turn up. Now, how you are stopping your mind? That is where wound plays an important role. I'm going to talk in my upcoming classes. Please remind me about my criminal cases. I'm going to talk. Yes, Tanvi, bolo.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask that when you talked with sex workers, of course, it's not that they are unsafe. It could be some of them are that they drug you and then they sell you to such a profession. So, ma'am, how do you maintain that safety around you? Because if I know that I'm 22 and I have not had any experience. If I talk about forensic psychology or anything, like I want to go meet, like it's not that, bhai, agar मैं कह रही हूँ, I want to go meet them personally and interview them. My mother is like, हमने जैसे गंगूबाई वगैरह देखी थी, I'm like, I want to go there.
No, see, my mother is highly against LGBT community people. But
Just a second, ma'am. Can you please hold on? Just a second, please.
it's it's my own professional life, and honestly I don't want anyone to interfere in my professional life, definitely, because see, professional and personal pretty different. I have sex workers, I have escort in my friend list, but
But
again
then you bring them to you, or do you yourself get to the field? Because going in the field without
I
safety,
go to them. In
with
my
what
Kolkata,
nature?
I have visited. In Bombay, one of the most wanted red light area I have visited. Delhi wala I have visited. Bombay, Delhi, and Kolkata. But again, they come to me in my therapy setup. I go to them whenever they have any sort of celebration. Any
Ma'am,
sort of, I'm not only talking about Pride Walk, even if they are giving a boat to anyone, they are the one, Shraddhanjali, aaja, mutton khana hai. And I'm like, aati hu. But again, just a small disclaimer, I don't always entertain them. They know that Shraddhanjali ko 9 baje se leke 9 baje tak hi we need to call. After that, even if we are dying also, Shraddhanjali is not going to receive the call. Shraddhanjali is not going to revert back to our WhatsApp messages. And only they have my professional number, not even my personal number. You have to maintain your boundaries also. When I work with queer clients, my mom and dad are like, dekho mat. But again, I have my own decision. मेरे को देखना है, and I walk. When I would think that no, I don't want, I would give a full stop. Like last in the month of April, I did not take any single appointment. I got so many appointments I did not take up because I felt that I need a high break for 1 long month. No session, no training, no OPD, no IPD, nothing. You need to see, I started working with queer community and sex worker escort when I was 19 years old. Not
ma'am,
as
but
a
how, like, how, I'm curious to know that how did you ensure that safety around you? Like, did you have somebody else accompanied with you, or
no. I did not see the very first day when it was through that time I did not have Facebook. One of my friends' family was into this escort system. And I said that I want to talk to them because not as a therapist, because 19 में कौन therapist बनता है भाई, कोई भी नहीं. I also was not a therapist. He said me, Shraddhanjali, if you want to talk to them, please don't reveal your own identity, because his own extended family's words of escort, high profile escort in Kolkata, they are renowned. I just talked to them and I got a wonderful review that we need you. We need persons like you, because when generally people don't have the habit of hugging them, I hugged them. And they were male and they were females also. It's not that only female are escort, males escorts are also there. In Kolkata, I can name more than 20 people.
ma'am, when you're talking about sex workers, are you talking about everybody from probably like even in lap dances and strippers that we've seen and
Yes,
everybody else? Are you talking about all that?
yes.
Okay,
See,
okay.
entering in that, see, counseling is something, I'm not talking about clinical, because clinical is only restricted to disorders, schizophrenia, borderline, bipolar. But I don't call myself as clinical psychologist because I don't have RCI. Why I don't have RCI is because I gave my MPhil exam, but I did not want to become RCI. Because counseling का spectrum बहुत ज़्यादा है, clinical का spectrum उतना ज़्यादा नहीं है. While working with sex worker, they demand counseling psychologist or counselors. They don't demand clinical psychologist. काउंसलिंग का स्पेक्ट्रम बहुत ज्यादा है. I did course. Definitely, it's not that only within a fraction of second I thought that I would work with sex worker, with escort, and yes, I am into that zone. No, I worked with prison and I did prison counseling diploma, not a PG diploma. Correctional home, I did a diploma because I needed to know about what exactly are their mindset. It's not that you can talk to them. They only need a vent out session. Acceptance. Whether you are accepting them as a therapist, they would see in your facial expression. And yes, definitely you can work with sex worker and combine inner child healing because they need inner child healing. Gangubai ka,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
that is a very true case. In Kolkata, I know many of them who are exactly the same, but they don't have any recognition, like Gangubai. Accepting them, hugging them, sitting with them in a same table or in the same bed and eating something gives them immense pleasure. And by seeing a smile on their face, I am like, it's a noble profession, definitely. But sabke bas mein nahi hai to walk, to go in that red light. Because people think that, it's pretty easy. It's not that easy.
Yes, ma'am.
The
It's
very
not
moment,
clean and it's dirty and it's stigmatized and definitely men come but they are not blamed. Women come, they are blamed and blamed for like ऐसे कैसे join कर लिया. There were many ways. And ma'am, if you you must be aware that there is something some kind of a platform called OnlyFans. And I have like I had not known about it since YouTube video started. And who is that person? Andrew Tate, if I'm not wrong. Then everybody was so crazy, and we never had a craze of women before. We never talked about them, and they used to face a lot more domestic abuse, and they were not allowed to divorce and everything else. So I don't know if the consumers are there, there will be the producers for that particular kind of a content.
definitely, it's very true. In this society, consumer and producer both are there. See, the thing is that सबका therapy नहीं होगा, but how you are listening to them, whether you are reacting. Now, reacting doesn't mean you are shouting. Even your facial reaction, your voice modulation matters a lot. That the thing in sex working, like escort for sex worker organization, this is mandatory and nothing else. Entering in that world, I have given my students the chance to do an internship. Few said that yeah, we liked it. Few were like no, मेरे को नहीं जाना है. I am feeling like you. So जिसको नहीं जाना है उसका उसका opinion है. People have the right to choose. People have the right to say. Don't worry, it's just the beginning. Counseling is vast. Areas are too vast. It's just the fact that what area you are choosing, whether you are comfortable or not, and nothing else.
Okay, so ma'am, like I don't know, ma'am, because in my family, if I talk about it, then I may not be able to get that much of a positive response or something, even though I'm very interested in researching that what is, because they also have knowledge, they also have information, they also have perception, they also have attitudes, they have needs, they have desires. And
Yes.
it's not that every kind of a desire is a sexual desire.
Hmm.
And even if it is, like I don't know, but we never, probably after being in a profession, we never expect anybody to express themselves anywhere except their own profession. And I'm like, why is this so limited? Like, to the profession. So that's the only thing. And ma'am, you actually yesterday said that you also did travel psychology, so I searched it on net, but I wasn't very, like, the results weren't very as accurate, they were haphazard. So, ma'am, is it immigration psychology or is it something different?
It's something different. Not immigration psychology. Immigration is a part of travel psychology. Travel psychology is a spectrum where
Okay.
we work on, like, not we, I work on creating retreat for women, creating retreat for men. It's a different aspect.
Okay, okay. Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay. Next, in high conflict and abusive family, few things are pretty common: anxiety, PTSD, depression, and any sort of substance abuse, and definitely personality disorder. That too, any idea what sort of personality disorder is common in high conflict families? Where every single
Depending.
dependent and
Ma'am, paranoid,
Borderline.
borderline, yes, paranoid,
borderline,
and one more.
dissociative identity problem,
OCD, OCPD, obsessive
obsessive
compulsive
compulsive
disorder.
disorder.
Just for the sake, my mom and dad are pretty perfectionist. For example, okay, then
You gave this example in last class.
yes, yes. Now there are two more sort of dysfunctional family system. Number one is enmeshment, and second, Arey baap re, okay, and second is detached. I have to modify this because it went up. Okay. Now in enmeshment family, what exactly happens? The mom and dad or the parents are overprotective. Over. Now 18 years ka bande ko mom and dad are stopping to talk to someone. 25 years ka stopping. They have, you are not supposed to wear this. You are not supposed to eat this. You are not supposed to talk to that individual. They are overprotective. They are pretty strict in their own rules. And they don't have a clear boundary in terms of their want and needs. Nothing is clear in amnist family. They feel I am the parents. Whatever I am saying is the only good for my daughter or my son. And in amnist family, especially the mothers feel I have given birth to my son, I have given the birth to my daughter, keeping them in my womb for 9 long months, and I know each and everything which is pretty perfect for them. This is amnist family, where everything is overprotective. Over and over. For them, ha Rashi khalo, abhi khalo. Overprotective. If you are wanting to talk to them also, they are like, no, I don't want. They are highly judgmental. And next is disengaged or detached family, where by the name you can understand they don't have any sort of communication. Now, I hope you all remember about the types of parenting. Which sort of parenting do you think Amnish family would have?
Authority. Ma'am, actually, I get confused between authoritative and authoritarian. So it's one of these.
Okay. Authoritarian. Authoritarian are where the rules and regulation are directed by the parents. Parents driven rule. Strict rule. And authoritative are those are picture perfect, where the communication or where the parents solve problem with their son and daughter without judging them. And in engaged and detached family system, which sort of parenting is there?
Negligence, probably.
And uninvolved. Negligence and uninvolved. Okay? Okay. Next is only 2 more minutes I'm going to take. Don't worry. These are pretty easy. Now, I won't mind giving one more session, not full one session, definitely 10 more minutes in tomorrow's session for this, because this needs an understanding, a clear understanding while dealing with therapeutic setup. Number one is the hero child. The other name of hero child is golden child. Sone ka child. By the name hero, by the name golden, you can understand these are the sort of child where they take up all the responsibility in their shoulder in order just to receive love and nothing else. These are the sort of individual, I think Rishabh joined and he left. Okay. These are those individual who needs to be picture perfect. Picture perfect. मेरे को जो करना है, I need to please my mom and dad.
Ma'am,
They,
it is taught by parents only that
yes,
if you want to receive our love, you have to prove yourself. You
yes,
have to score highest marks in the class. You have to be picture perfect. You have to be nice to everyone. बेटा ये करके दिखाओ, वो करके
And
दिखाओ.
also a role model. Like be a role
Yeah.
model for everybody.
yes.
Especially if you know there are two children घर में, so
Hmm.
बड़ा वाला will get this responsibility कि okay, even the बड़ा वाला child is also a बच्चा in his age, but the parents will constantly nag the elder child that तुम उससे बड़े हो, तुम उसकी responsibility लो. They completely forget that वो जो बड़ा बच्चा है वो भी actual में बच्चा ही है.
But again, see, all this sort of child are coming from dysfunctional family setup only. Their parenting are not up to the mark. Now, in this hero child, they feel outside. The moment you are seeing them, you can see they are perfect, they are always right, they are fully mature. But inside, they have a fear of failure. What if I'm not proving myself, I'm not going to receive the love of my parents? What if I'm not doing this? My parents is not going to talk to me. Now all these things needs example. Definitely I understand you all have our next class from 7 to 8, I think so, right? किसका class है? Couple, child. Fine. Okay, okay. 2 more minutes I am going to talk. Now in this hero child, one parenting is mostly responsible, that is narcissistic parenting. जो मैं बोलूंगी वो correct है. Especially the one now in hero child, definitely both the parents are responsible. But if you dig the mentality of the mother have a thing that I have given birth to my son, I have given the birth to my daughter by keeping them in my womb for 9 months. मेरे को पता है उसके बाले में, like I know everything which is right for him, what is wrong for him. That individual won't have any sort of opinion. They feel हाँ मम्मी को पता है, डैडी को पता है. And if you dig the mentality of the father, you are going to see I am the bread and butter of the family. So whatever I would say, they are going to follow exactly the same. And this sort of child, they are pretty workaholic. They have repressed anger. Which defense mechanism they do use? Any idea?
मैम आई एम नॉट एबल टू रिमेम्बर द नेम, बट इसमें ये लोग अपने एंगर को डायरेक्ट करते हैं एक पर्टिकुलर टास्क को कंप्लीट करने में. आई
What is
जस्ट
that?
फॉरगॉट द नेम.
Displacement, probably, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. Displacement. See, what exactly happens is this sort of parent, this sort of child, not parents, you can do empty chair technique. And I think I have given more than 100 plus worksheets. Not for my session, don't take out printout for my session. मेरे session पे काम नहीं आएगा. They are only for your session when you are going to take clients. उसमें 2-3 worksheets से I am going to mark after 2 or 3 days, which you can give to hero child, which you can give to lost child, which you can give to scapegoat. You can understand their mindset up. Hero child, they are the one who have lots of emotion, but they can't express only because of the fear. What if I am not receiving the love if I am expressing myself? This is what hero child is. Next is scapegoat. Now here in scapegoat, what happened? As I said, they are the troublemaker. They are the problem child. As well as one name, I don't know whether I've mentioned over here or not. They are termed as black sheep of the entire family. For you, I am blamed. For you, I am blamed. And continuously they are blamed by the parents. Now, please note, they are blamed by the parents. And when they are blamed by the parents, the extended one comes into picture. बाहर का कोई आदमी उन लोग को ब्लेम नहीं करेगा पहले. The parents are blaming them. Then only the बाहर का आदमी are coming. Yes, Rashi.
मैम जो केस मैंने आपके साथ में भी डिस्कस किया था ना, जो पाकिस्तान एंड इंडिया
हाँ
वाला.
वो है.
हाँ
हाँ वो है. In case of scapegoat, inside me they are filled with shame, because if someone is continuously blaming them, they have so much of shame, they have so much of hurt. They don't trust themselves. They have a fear of failure also, that yes, I am a failure. And hence, when they are disturbing others, they are disturbing to that extreme. Now, this can come up in two scenarios. Number one is only for the sake of attention. And number two is that only for 5 minutes or 5 seconds, I want to have a peace. Again, as a therapist or as a healer, we need to understand what exactly is the mindset of the client. Clear scapegoat? Tanvi, abhi tak clear हुआ?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next is the lost child. The name suggests lost matlab they are pretty quiet. They have few names with them, like the tagline, not the macho man. They are the dreamers. खुद के दुनिया पे involved है. They are the invisible child. Yeah, given. कोई इन लोग को notice नहीं करेगा. Now, why so? Any idea why so?
Maybe both of the parents are too busy for earning
Which
for
one?
their lifestyle.
Workaholic parenting, yes.
Yeah,
Which sort of dysfunctional family do they come from?
Disconnected.
And one more name was there.
Detached.
Yes,
Probably.
yes. Parents are detached from them. Now, these are those sort of individual who have emotion or who have over everything, like over emote. Now they have frozen feeling. Now, why do they have frozen feelings? Any idea that why I'm frozen of all my emotions?
because they are never taught how to, express their emotion.
Yes, and also they are never taught about their own values.
Yeah.
They are the one who would seek acceptance from everyone. Acha hua, acha hua. For example, I would like to give a small case. I had a client, and also I have few friends. The moment they are giving a picture, they are scrolling. How many picture that particular picture, kitna like hua, kitna react hua, how many people commented. सेल्फ एक्सेप्टेंस नहीं है, दूसरों के एक्सेप्टेंस उन लोग के पास है. Again, these are those sort of individual who are prone to heart diseases. They die
Ma'am,
fast. Ha, Rashi.
ma'am,
Sorry.
people who are insecure about their body or their image in the public, are they also come in this category, lost
Yes,
child?
yes, lost child.
Okay.
So I'm
And
basically, I have wanted to ask that underconfident, right? Like with
Yes,
some kind of an inferiority complex.
yes, they
Probably.
are always unhappy. Their self esteem is below the level also. कोई भी काम करेगा, they are like ठीक हुआ ना, ठीक हुआ ना. Definitely for lost child, CBT helps a lot.
No, no, I don't feel I was a lost child, but I usually like am someone who seeks validation. Or like I used to a lot, but I don't that much right now. But I don't
I'll
know.
tell you one thing. Not most, all of us, every single individual do seek acceptance. But the intensity varies.
yeah,
I have anger issue, I have jealousy, Rashi have anger issue. All four of us have all the emotions. But what
intensity will be
comes,
different.
yes, intensities are different. How we are managing it would be different. There are therapists who says, I don't have a feeling of jealousy. Mark my word, if they say in front of me, I'm going to slap them. And in fact, I have said few of my friends that do bhi
Such,
bolna.
ma'am,
Huh,
such people are the one who are actually very jealous. Even
yes,
they're jealous from their own friends, but they
yes,
will hide it very perfectly.
yes. They won't show.
Yes, they're
If
good
I
at
am,
hiding.
yes, if I am jealous, I can say in front of the class or in front of everyone that, yeah, today I'm feeling jealous because of so and so reason. But these are those individuals who won't say. Jealousy isn't a primary, it's a primary emotion. Jealousy is a sort of primary emotion.
Ma'am, I was
And
saying that
what
our eating disorder also, somewhere relevant to the lost child.
Yeah, which sort of eating disorder? Binge eating disorder.
Hmm.
I
But
am going to connect with all the
why not
disorders.
the, why
Ah,
not the others?
huh?
Like why not all eating disorders? Because अगर anorexia, nervosia और bulimia वो भी होता
No,
है.
no. Only binge eating because the one who is lost, they have a tendency to binge on everything. If you go through the Reddit, if I get, I am definitely going to give. But I read it in Reddit itself because in Reddit, क्या होता है ना? People write about their own stories. You can see the moment you are dealing with client, you can understand it's binge eating or it's bulimia. But mostly what I have seen or what I have read, and there are certain researches also that lost style and binge eating are too common. They एक बार में they can't do. They would take a bite, keep it. They would take a bite again. They would keep it. Now for lost child, depression is too common. Depression होगा ही होगा. And this sort of children who die due to heart attack, any sort of cardio, like anything related to heart issues. Tomorrow I'm going to talk. See, this is not an EFT class. the tapping wala, but I'm going to take up the spectrum of EFT also, so that it's easier for you all to understand.
It won't take much time.
No, no, no. EFT is very small thing.
Huh.
Next is the mascot. Now the mascot is one sort of individual who are the jokers. Now, if you have read the history biography of Charlie Chaplin, last week I was reading the history of Charlie Chaplin at 12 in the night. It took me only 2 hours, not more. I slept at 2 o'clock in the night. Charlie Chaplin ka case, if you all read about his own biography, you can see why he was a renowned or a top-notch joker in India. Not only in India, internationally also. He had so many emotions. He did not connect with anyone. People used to bully him because of him, because of his face. Outside, in mascot, the thing which you are going to see, they are the most happiest person ever. But if you know psychodynamic therapy, if you know hypnosis, because in inner child, as I was saying, as I'm a clinical hypnotherapist also, hypnotherapy mein, inner child was a part where we were being taught how to use hypnosis with the clown characters. It's pretty, if you are digging their subconscious mind, you can see, or it's not that you can, but you have to see that they have so many emotions, which is very prominent. They did
Ma'am,
not.
what causes this? Can you explain again?
Which one?
Ma'am, this one I didn't hear the
Okay,
mascot.
okay. See, the main function of mascot is to make everyone happy, but they are not the people pleaser. Just the people pleasers are only the golden child. Golden matlab samajh mein aata hai sona. They want to be the sona in everyone's life. But mascot are those sort of child who feel that I am only responsible to make my mom and dad happy, and they can go to any extreme. They are lovable, definitely, because we used to love, still we love Charlie Chaplin. They can break the tension in the whole family setup. But they can't often deal with their own emotions. Entertaining, yes, entertainment. They can't deal with their own emotion only. Why so? Any idea why so?
Ma'am, probably because as we know that I don't know what theory said that there are opposite emotions against each other, and probably even created a diagram which was shades of colors
Hmm.
going across that flower-like thing. So, ma'am, I think that it could be that there are emotions which oppose each other. Probably deep down they feel a little depressed, they feel stressed, and they feel sadness, but they then do not want to feel it like intensely or probably anything. So they replace it with happiness. If I'm not wrong, ma'am. Actually, I was this
Yes.
during the first, I guess, first 4 to 5 months in the college because I tried to be very cool and everything, and that didn't go well. So I have experienced this situation in my own life.
Yes. And mascot
Ma'am,
children's, they, yes, Rashi.
ma'am, maybe because they believe that if someone is, being emotional, they can light up the whole situation, and they can deal with their mood swings also. But they believe that that particular person is not like me. So if I will be emotional, might be possible that samne wala person will not do anything to support me.
Hmm.
And
Yes, and they have a tendency to use one defense mechanism every time, that is
Hmm.
humor.
Hmm, hmm,
They
hmm.
would prominently use.
Dark humor.
Yes, dark humor.
They will make fun of their trauma and
Yes,
make everyone laugh, and this is their way to cope up with what happened in the past with them.
yes, and they have issues with their own self-esteem.
Yes, I love dark humor.
Mine
Very
as
love.
it seems that I am on the verge of having a problem. I can make like anything from death jokes to trauma jokes, like even what you were saying in between. I don't know why, but if I just add a slight touch of a humor in it, whenever just mama ko bola you said something and then I said something else and she was like ha bada funny tha, wo padha rahi hai pad le. I was like theek hai. So probably I don't know.
हाँ, बिल्कुल. Most of us see all this child or this was last. Yes. Uh, ऋषभ का मैसेज भी आ गया मेरे को. Okay. So these are the sort of children who are coming from all the dysfunctional family. I would request all of you go through all the both the classes of mine. If you feel like jot it down because मेरा क्लास एक घंटा का नहीं होता, 2 घंटा हो ही जाता है. तो jot down all the questions. After 5 days, definitely the course practitioner course is for 5 days. But on 6th day, let me know when you all need an extra class. I'm going to clarify all the doubts so that it's pretty easy because you need to understand what is the system of the child. Therapy differ होगा. Mascot के लिए CBT वगैरह कुछ नहीं है. They only like play. Play therapy is only for mascot. Scapegoat के लिए you can do CBT, but again you have to keep in mind about behavior therapy. Yes, Rashi.
मैम आई इंटरेक्टेड विद द चाइल्ड एंड डिसफंक्शनल फैमिली था. ठीक है. द गर्ल, she was continuously drawing triangles, but not as a normal wala triangle. What she was doing
Send me
is,
the picture. I am going to interpret and I'm going to give you.
oh, okay.
Send me the picture of the child. Hide the names, hide all the details. Send me only, click the picture and send me.
Okay.
There are shapes interpretation also. Circle के लिए, टूटा फूटा circle के लिए, टूटा फूटा line के लिए. So interpretations are there, but if I have the soft copy, I would definitely give it to you all. Don't worry because वो interpretation बहुत बड़ा है, like it's a big book of Kaplan, like Kaplan. So read that book. It helps a lot. And the question wala also, I would give 2 books, but I would take time because I need to search from my drive itself. But I would give. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So go through all the sort of dysfunctional family and the child coming up from dysfunctional family. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about the types of wound. Definitely, because types of wound का अभी तक I did not give the PPT because थोड़ा additions बाकी है. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about the disorders and types of wound. I don't know what time you all would be having class with me, either from 8 to 9 or 9 to 10 or 6 to 7. I don't know. But if you all are willing, I can give 2 hours class tomorrow so that it would take place.
Ma'am, what did you say? The last line, can you please repeat?
If possible for you all, I would give 2 hour class. If possible from your sides.
Okay, for
Like from
every
all
class.
of your sides. Yes.
So, ma'am, it is better, like if Sachi ma'am suggests the timing. So, and if it is possible for you, then you can just tell her कि आपकी जो class है वो उसमें end में रखे ताकि if you even stretch it, so there is no like issue or.
See, the moment I would, okay, I am stopping the recording. If you all need any recording of the next one, because abhi khatam hai, but I am stopping the recording and I would say you all one thing. Whenever Sachi is writing down in the main group of Sama